And I think when you're forming a story as a writer, you start to appreciate, actors more, because, and now even becoming a director, oh my gosh, my love, my boundless love for actors has only grown because of, I just see it from the other side now, and how much talent there is out there, how good people are, especially, when they don't realize it, they don't know how good they are. It's made me want to go out and just be extra supportive to all of my actor friends. And it's certainly anyone who auditions for me. I just have so much love for.
Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always, hosted by me, Chris. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 492? Yes, 492 of the podcast. Great episode for you all today. Of course, if you'd like to follow me on the socials, or just to find out where the podcast is available, the new Casting for Two, which is just a link tree now. It'll let you know all that you need to know. If you want to follow me on Twitch, join the Discord, or leave me a voicemail, castingfor2.com is the place to do so. So go do it. But yeah, my guest today is a phenomenal person, just actor, director, human being, and I had so much fun chatting with her. Stephanie Izsak is on the podcast, and Stephanie can be seen in the new Netflix show Blockbuster. Randall Parks, I don't know if you've heard of him. And we talk a lot about that era of time when movie video stores and all that good stuff. But Stephanie's just a phenomenal person, and go watch the show and listen to this episode and go follow her because she's amazing. And I'm done talking because we need to get into this episode. So everybody sit back, relax, and Stephanie, take it away. Yeah. It's going well. And yourself? My voice started going away as soon as I said hello. Oh, no.
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. But how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm doing good. I actually just saw a woman get hit by a car, so I guess I should not be doing that well. She seemed okay though, but it was still that's never fun.
No.
It's never settling.
I mean, how severe was it?
It was not. It was like the car was making a turn, not that quickly, and then this woman who was crossing the street, the woman didn't see her, and she was like slowing down. But the woman just let out this like blood curdling scream, and that was the scariest part of the whole thing. But I think she's okay. Okay.
Well, I mean, as long as they're okay, that's good. Also, yes, letting out a scream, I could see how that would like alert the driver, maybe, of said person.
Yes. And ignite the nervous system of all bystanders.
Exactly. It's, there's, I can only think of really one time I was working and I was on my lunch break. I worked at a movie theater that was attached to a mall. So I was, walking back to the mall, crossing the street, and I saw this girl, and I was like 18 at the time, and I was just like, ooh, she's pretty. And I took one step and not paying attention, and this car whizzed by me, and I remember just like snapping out and like, oh no, wow, that could have been bad. Which, I mean, I'd be like, well, not a bad way to go, It's
worth it.
Yep, no, exactly.
Well, I was in a really bad car accident when I was a kid. I don't remember a ton of it, but our car was like completely totaled and a full write-off.
And man. You were a kid?
I think I was 4.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Kid. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's, I don't want to talk about car accidents and stuff like that.
No, let's not do that anymore.
No, but it's just so. I don't really drive around San Antonio. That's where I live, and because of that reason, there's just so many accidents. I could walk down the street and just sit there, and in 5 minutes there will be some sort of accident. And I'm like, no, why would I want to drive in that condition? Because it's just so. People are so aggressive, and I just don't understand it.
Yeah. Well, our lives are distracting, and we're bad drivers. Yeah.
Well, where are you from, or where are you?
I'm in Vancouver. Yeah, I'm in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Awesome. ABR, always be recording.
Oh yeah. As soon as it starts, that's when I press record.
That's it. All right, lift off. You might hear some little noises here and there and meows. My cat is very, wow, she's freaking right now. We think that we have a mouse in the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we think that it's spending its days in different locations, and she's smelling it, and she's just losing her brain about it. So anyway, that's what that is. What you asked where I'm from. I'm originally from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, the nation's capital.
Yes.
People on the West Coast say that's the East Coast. It's not the East Coast. It's central. It's the middle of the country because we extend far out to the east. But right now I'm in Vancouver.
Oh, okay. It's so funny when it comes to location naming, nicknames and stuff like if you go to Chicago, that's considered the Midwest. And I'm just always like, no, it's not. It's in the middle.
Yeah.
It's right smack dab in the middle. It's not east or west.
Learn your geography.
Yes.
And then somebody names some country and you're like, oh God, I have no idea where that is. Where they are. Ooh. Isn't Germany kind of in the middle? I don't know.
It's over there. That's all we know. But yeah, so okay. No, I always love chatting with people in Canada because I always like to flex that I lived in Victoria for a bit when I was going to school, so I'm familiar with the West Coast side, but the middle and the east side I'm not.
Well, Victoria is a great place. Love Victoria. Victoria is very similar to the city that I grew up in, Ottawa. They get compared a lot because they're both government towns. Yeah, and they're both sort of a similar size, very clean, very nice, family friendly kind of places. Yeah, Victoria is great, but yes, Vancouver. I mean, Canada's big. Yeah. It's very big.
Yes.
America is also big. I think we're bigger.
Yes.
But we have far fewer people. So that's a big difference now I'm just comparing our countries for some reason. But you should try and make it out to the middle part is great in Canada. I mean, I think if you go there, there's a lot to see. It's certainly very beautiful. I love the prairies, but the East Coast is like another planet. It's a very, very beautiful, very special place with its own sort of flavor, its own sort of culture. Quebec also beautiful. Again, Quebec is sort of like its own little vibe.
Yeah, it's France over there.
Well, don't tell France that.
Right,
don't
right,
say
right,
that.
right. No,
France doesn't want that. You know what? I had a girlfriend who moved here from Nantes, and she lived in Paris for a long time. She's Parisian essentially. And she stopped in Montreal for a little while on her way out here. And she said to me when she got here, she's like, I don't care what anyone says. It's not French. They're not. It's so funny, right? So I hear that Quebec French sounds like Old English.
Oh, okay.
How Old English sounds to us. So anyway, I'm the queen of digressions. You'll see.
No, well, it's because when I was going to school, there were a couple of people from Quebec who they had that French sound, but there was also Canadian, and I was just they were so love these individuals, but everything
Yes.
didn't make sense to them. They were just like, this doesn't taste good. It tastes better back in Quebec. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
okay, all right,
Yes,
cool.
they are a proud people. They did get that from the French, from the motherland. Yes, they're proud people, proud to be Quebecois. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Who cares? Whatever you say, you do you. I support you. Can we get back to work?
I have a deep love for Quebec. I spent 4 years there going to university in a small town called Lennoxville, Quebec, just outside Sherbrooke. And I love the Quebec people. I love the Quebec culture. It's like being in a different country. It's a beautiful place.
No, it's one of those things that I would love to go there. But I feel like I would need somebody who knows the ropes to tag along with, like a personal friend, like somebody, because I just don't see myself going there by myself like I would in Alberta or British Columbia or even Ontario. Those places, I'm like, okay, I could survive by myself. But Quebec.
I love that you. I think it's funny that you put Alberta into that list. That's
because
Alberta's great. Alberta's great, but it's usually not your first destination.
No, it's not, and mainly because again, the school, I had a friend who was from Alberta, and he could not stop talking about Alberta beef. And I was just like, okay. And he like, it was the best beef ever. It's better than any meat in America. And I'm just, okay, I don't care. Cool. But still not my, living in Texas, hearing that Alberta and Texas have, similars. I'll leave it there. That wouldn't be my first.
I have heard that, yes. Or I shouldn't say I've heard that. I am aware of that.
Yes. Yeah. Now, they do have a shopping mall that I would love to check out. I don't know if it's still there, but it's one of those ones.
It's still there, buddy.
It's still there. Okay, yeah, the enclosed, you know what I'm talking about then. The enclosed one that is just...
it's called the Edmonton Mall.
Yes.
It's in Edmonton, Alberta. It is huge. I have been there. It is, it's something. It's something else. We did go there when I was a kid. It's got an indoor water park. It's got an indoor, it's got roller coasters. It's wild. It's just, but, it's a very big mall. So I do think if you've been in a small mall, you have been in that mall, just a smaller version of it. I take.
I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know what I was watching, but as a person who... is older and kind of did grow up with mall culture. Mall culture. There we go. Mall culture. It's something that I miss. I miss just going to the mall for shoes or for clothing and stuff like that. So, and again, working next to and in a couple of malls in my life, it's sad to see a mall that is just... there's one or two stores and then everything else is just, empty and weird. So yeah, I don't know. I miss, and plus my sister had that game Mall Madness. So yeah, it was just like malls were just a part of my life growing up, and I'm sad to see them.
Totally. We don't have the attention span for malls anymore. I don't. I hate going to the mall. I hate leaving my house now to buy clothing. Just send it to me, which is then killing the environment. So, you can't win.
No. Ultimately, we all lose the end. All righty. Sounds good.
Yeah, this has become very nihilistic very quickly. I apologize. I feel like it's my fault. I shouldn't have brought up the car accident. I shouldn't have brought it up.
It's fine. And it's true. We're all going to lose in the end. No.
Let's talk about art in the meantime.
Yeah, you know what? We're all going to lose in the end, so why not enjoy all the art available? Segue and acting. Yes. That is an art, yeah. No, well, one thing I like to ask people is, obviously we all went through, and depending on, who you talk to, still going through, a pandemic. I'm just kind of curious how you spent the earlier pandemic when we were, shelter in place.
Yeah. How did I spend the earlier pandemic? It was funny. I would crack jokes all the time in early pandemic, because it felt like instead of everybody's lives changed and became like my life. Everybody was all of a sudden living the life of an actor. You're sitting at home all the time. There's not a ton to do. You're kind of just waiting around for someone to tell you when it's okay to do something. So honestly, my life didn't change a ton. I mean, that's not completely true. My life, like everybody else's lives, changed. But I was very lucky, very fortunate. The pandemic really spared me and my family. I live in Canada. I was lucky. We had some wonderful government support come our way. So so auditions stopped, filming, on the shows that I was working on, everything stopped. So I really took that. Well, I panicked for a couple of weeks like everybody else. And then when I settled into that new normal, I really hunkered down on writing and directing and starting all of these projects that I would talk about for so long and wouldn't really put action to. So my writing life really flourished in the pandemic. I studied a lot. I read a lot of screenplays. I dove back into some great books that I have. And so I made good use of the time, I like to think. And then just, worked out a lot, I guess, cooked a lot, drank a lot of wine.
Did you bake bread?
Okay. I'm not a baker. Okay. I love baking shows, but I do not bake.
I just feel like that was also another thing is people were just like, let me see if I can make my own cheese. Let me see if I can bake bread. Yeah. I'm like, all right, go ahead.
I still found myself really busy. I'm really good at keeping myself unmanageably busy. And the pandemic was no match for that. I still managed to keep myself just chock full of things to do. So no bread making happened here. Well, sadly. I'm sure my fiance felt very sad about
that. Why can't you write a script about bread makers and then do your research on it? Come on.
Exactly.
But so, talking how you dove back or having more time to dive into writing and things like that. For you, what came first? Was it the acting or the writing?
Acting. Yeah. I've been acting and I've loved performing since I was a kid. I was very much the stereotypical child destined to be an actor, very precocious, second born, wanted a lot of attention as a kid. Parents put me into acting class kind of thing. But I did love to write very early in my life. I've always been a writer. It's always been a way that I've been able to express myself, and I really enjoyed. I started writing a vampire novel when I was 12, and then my dad sold the computer that my novel was on, and I never got it back.
Please tell me that, and that vampire story was called Twilight.
Yes. And you're right. I'm actually, I don't know who that writer is. No, I know. Isn't that so funny? I mean, God, it was probably like 25 pages. In my memory, I'm like, it was a full narrative, but it was probably just like nothing.
It was a full series. 8 books.
But writing has always been something that I've wanted to do. I did write when I worked in theater. I did write quite a bit. I wrote and performed a one-woman show for a while. So it's always been something that I've loved, and always been something that I sort of talked about doing. People love to talk about, actors especially love to talk about how they want to write, and we're really bad at actually executing. And I sort of just got sick of myself talking about it, and I got really sort of it was like I woke up one day and I realized how much I talked about it and didn't do it, and I got embarrassed. So I was like, okay, well, I better. And then the pandemic happened, and I'm like, well, I have zero excuse. Zero. Yeah.
Well, and so did you find that, diving into writing, did that give your acting a whole new perspective? Or even on the flip side, do you see that your writing Wait, that's the thing. Your acting gives your writing a new perspective.
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry, brain fart.
Yeah, you got it. You got there. Yeah, absolutely. And maybe not for the reasons that you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
When I started to write my own stuff, the life of an actor, there's not a lot of control.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of feeling of being able to make your own decisions. I'm not at first anyway, not at the level that I was at for a very long time and am still at in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. So I think what writing gave me was it empowered me to feel good about my own storytelling. Mm. That, as an actor for hire, you have to wait until someone else gives you the green light to tell stories. And then even then are you going to, feel good about it? I don't know. It's like, it's so fraught with insecurity and not that, not that writing isn't as well, but it just felt to me so deeply nourishing and empowering to form stories that came just from me. I don't know. Yeah. It just gave me something. And also knowing that I had these ideas cooking and that I had these projects sort of developing on the side, it also put the pressure off of the acting for me a little bit. It made me feel like, okay, if I don't, even if this audition doesn't work out or that audition doesn't work out, I've got these other projects to lean on creatively. Yeah. So it did really help my acting. And I think when you're forming a story as a writer, you start to appreciate, actors more, mm-hmm. Because, and now even becoming a director, oh my gosh, my love, my boundless love for actors has only grown because of, I just see it from the other side now and how much talent there is out there, how good people are, especially, when they don't realize it, they don't know how good they are. It's made me want to go out and just be extra supportive to all of my actor friends. And it's certainly anyone who auditions for me. I just have so much love for.
No, that makes a whole lot of sense. And it's just one of those things that I wish, I'm not saying every director needs to do it, but somebody who has zero acting experience, go through an acting class just so that you can be more in tune with the actor and their needs, or how to quote unquote motivate them, or at least be able to talk to an actor, because I feel like that's something that's kind of overlooked. Again, outsider looking in. It just, anything that you can do that could improve the project, why not? Or improve your set of skills. Like, of course, why not? Let's try to see the world from the other side. So, and it's great now that you are going into directing. You said it. You have a new perspective now on that side. So yeah, it can only make everything better and more collaborative.
Yeah, I think that's the key word there is collaborative, because the actors, we spend a lot of time figuring out what directors want from us. We spend a lot of time trying to understand their jobs and trying to understand how we can add to their projects and be useful to them. And, I think the reciprocity of that would be directors, and a lot of them do. I have not had many bad experiences. I've been very fortunate in my career so far. I've worked with a lot of directors who have taken the time to really understand how actors approach their work, how best to speak to us, how to get the best performances out of us, and how, because only then does it really become a true collaboration, when we're both able to meet each other at the levels that we're at, and understand each other's roles. So yeah, I think it's popular with directors, especially as they gain more experience, to foster that mindset of really getting to the actor's level and understanding. Certainly the best directors, I do think, do that. Yeah.
You mentioned something earlier how when you're an actor, you were just kind of sitting, waiting for your opportunity to do something. Has there ever been a time when, hey, you're presented this role and you're just like, great, awesome, I get to act. I don't get this character, or I can't find my, personally, you couldn't find your in with that type of character. Have you ever been in that kind of situation before?
I haven't been in that specific situation yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think that typically if a role comes across for me and I just really can't get there, and it doesn't really happen, but I can just tell, I'm like, you know what, this is not mine. It's not going to fit. I know I'm not. Then 9 times out of 10, I won't get that role, because that's the truth.
Yeah.
Like I would love to get to the point where directors would trust me and producers will trust me to transform on camera the way, our most incredible actors, Cate Blanchett and a lot of these heavy hitting actors, they are asked to transform on camera because, we trust them to do it.
Right.
But, when you're at my level, or certainly, where I have been in the past, we're not quite there yet. So, if I'm going to get a role, I'm going to find a way into it first. I like 9 times out of 10 for me, that's what's happened. There have been times where I've been cast in roles and I get the role. It's just, I've done some, especially when you're starting out, you get some really small stuff and, you really have to do a lot of work then to sort of have it all make sense for yourself, because sometimes there's just so little, you really are just a talking head. Sometimes you just kind of look the part, but yeah, no, I'm sure my day will come. I'm sure my day will come where I'll be cast and then I'll get on set and the director will say, so we've done some rewrites and, now you're going to be from Brooklyn and, your background is you were in the circus. I'm sure I'm sure my day is coming.
Oh, that old classic role of Brooklynite from the circus.
What a trope.
I've seen enough of that. I'm sorry. If that's the role you want, fine. I'm just sick of that role. No, I'm just kidding.
Give us something fresh. Have a new take on it, at least,
She's okay. You're from Queens. Oh,
yeah.
All righty. Okay.
That changes everything.
It's just so fascinating just because I love talking with actors. Acting will always have a special place in my heart just because, and the people who do it, just because, yeah, we're asking you to open up, be somebody else, while also being, reading the lines as they're written. Just there's so much multitasking that you have to, but also be emotional and open yourself up. And then once it's done, okay, bye, see you later. Just leave that person that you were playing for days or months or years, and it's just like, yeah, that has to be a lot to ask of a person, just to do all that. I'm just fascinated. More people don't break down, honestly.
Well, I think that why people don't break down is that they have good training. Because what you're talking about is using our own bodies and emotional life as tools in our work. And it is very tough. It's very hard. And I believe in training. I believe in finding your mentors and your teachers and your tools to help you not only get there in a safe way, but then come out of it in a very safe way. And you do see a lot of actors, struggle with roles and put themselves in bad situations. I did it once when I was in university. I was playing a character and I came at it so hard, and I really I sort of messed up my body because the character had a lot of physical stuff going on. Emotionally, I really sort of pulled away from my friends because of this character. I mean, I was also, like a self-indulgent young actor, but yeah. So it asks a lot of actors, and I think for that reason, we're a special kind of creature.
Yeah.
We're very sensitive,
yes.
and we do better when the people in our lives, give us that space. I'm very lucky. I have a lot of really supportive, wonderful, compassionate people in my corner, my actor friends, my fiance, my family. So yeah, we need a lot of sort of space in our lives, I think, as actors, to sort of take care of ourselves. And, back in the day, way back, they used to bury actors at crossroads because they thought what we did was some kind of possession.
Really?
Because it was, oh yeah, like I don't know, I can't give you a time period. Let's say
the 70s. No.
Sorry, something just fell off my desk.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
Everything's fine. Yeah. Oh God. I mean, here I am whipping out this fact and I have absolutely no data to back it up, but I do know that they used to do that. That's like an old wives' tale about actors because they felt like what we were doing was some kind of possession. And I just think that goes to speak to actually how powerful actors are and how we can affect people by sort of using our own bodies and our own emotions to tell these stories. And I just think I look at it as a real privilege. Like being an actor is, I really do believe in the public service of the work that we do. And so I feel very, very lucky that I get to do this.
Yeah. Well, and then, just kind of talking about the work that you've done, you have done a couple projects that are near and dear to my heart. Grew up a DC fan. So, like, The Flash is in my top, favorite characters, and you were on the show.
Yes.
And jealous. I'm just going to say jealous about that, first of all. But then you have this new show coming up, Blockbuster, which... Yeah. Oh boy, I miss those Friday, again, talking about shopping malls, I miss those Friday nights of, hey, we're done with school, what do you want to do? Let's rent a movie.
Right.
And just, walking around at Blockbuster and just trying to get anything that they had that we remotely wanted to see.
Yeah, like, I love that. Like, Friday night, come home, grab your bike to your friend's house, grab your friend, go to Blockbuster, grab some candy, grab some movies, done. Weekend sorted.
Yes. And I remember, again, when I was going to school in Canada, like going to Blockbuster was an event for me because I lived in a part where I was just like, I don't know where anything is. And then one day I saw a Blockbuster. It's like, ooh, so I would just forget the mall. I'm going to Blockbuster to get movies and stuff like that. But of course, with every awesomeness, there's a dark side, and I am upset with Blockbuster because they never hired me for a job.
Oh no!
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm petty, but had they hired me, the store would have never gone bankrupt. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, yeah. Well, if you know what, if it makes you feel any. If it makes you feel any better, I was hired, and then 2 weeks later, it shut down in my neighborhood. So.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened. Again, had I been hired, you would have still been working at Blockbuster. So
I own a couple locations. If you just kept
exactly,
so it's all your fault, is what we're saying. It's all your fault.
Well, no, it's Blockbuster for not hiring me. But yes. No, but Randall Parks is just he is just somebody that myself and my girlfriend, like, if we see him on the TV, we're just what can I sound so goofy? If we saw him on the TV, no, we just get excited to see him because we think he's so funny. Did you have any interactions with him? Is he an evil person behind the scenes? But you can tell me. It's a safe space.
I don't. There are no words to describe how evil Randall.
Okay, perfect. Yes.
No. Oh my gosh. No. I was the exact same way as you. I loved Randall in Veep, especially. It was probably my favorite. It was wonderful to work with him. Yeah, we got to work together a whole bunch, and he is just salt of the earth, lovely dude. A great leader. The set was so much fun. Everybody was in a great mood all the time. And Randall really set that tone. So it was lovely to work with him. And, yeah. We share a love of good craft beer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. What I have to be honest. I'm not a beer drinker, so I would fail that friendship portion of the test. So
yeah, we won't invite you out to the party. But
that's fine. I don't need an invite. Whatever. I'll start my own party. No, no, but so
whole cast. I mean, the whole cast was just. It was a dream. It was kind of a dream set to walk on. As a big comedy fan, as a Superstore fan. Melissa Fumero fan. Everybody. It was a little bit surreal for Stephanie.
What was there something that you learned being on the set that you were like, "Ooh, I'm going to utilize this in my everyday acting or the next project or anything like that?"
Ooh, it's a good question. Let me think. Something that I learned that I'm going to use all the time. Well, something that I definitely noticed and that I took away was everybody was so chill. Especially, working with Melissa and Randall, they had the lion's share of dialogue a lot of the time. And they're just both such professionals and, could sort of hang out and, joke around with us basically until they, called action. And everybody was kind of like that on that set. And that was a lot of fun. And another thing I'll take away, work is always more fun if everybody is sort of celebrating each other. And that was really the vibe on set there. Everybody cracked. We were just cracking each other up all the time. And it was so much fun to be around. Just so much fun to go to work every day.
Good. I'm glad. And, and I know the show's not out yet, right? November 3rd. November 3rd. Okay. Perfect. But, one thing that I like to ask actors, and there's really no right or wrong answer. It's just something that I'm just very curious. It'll tell me everything about you. So, again, no pressure.
Oh God.
What makes a good character for you?
What makes a good character from an actor's perspective?
Ooh, and if you want to do other perspectives, since you more than welcome to.
Because a character starts with the words. So what we do is a real alchemy between the words and the actor, and the way I am going to bring these words to life is completely different than the way someone else is going to bring these words to life. So, I think a good character, something that I get excited about is, someone who has a secret is always fun. We're always, something with complexity, something with, something a little open-ended is nice. It's sometimes you'll get an audition and it feels like in the breakdown, they're trying to hand you every detail of the performance that they're looking for. And it's always nice for actors. I really, do enough to go on, but then they sort of leave the rest up to you. Always appreciate that. And I don't know what makes a great character. Strong relationships, strong relationships to other characters are really the meat of it.
Okay. I just love getting people's opinions on that, because it's an answer that's never the same.
Yeah.
And I love those answers.
So interesting. I'd love to hear someone else's answers.
Somebody said money, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever.
Money. I mean, let's not lie. Money doesn't hurt.
But for the people at home who would like to follow you on the online, where can they do that?
Yeah, so please do follow me on Instagram. I'm at Stephanie Izsak. I'm not a great Instagrammer. You will not hear from me every day, but I'm on there, and I do love to use the platform. It's lots of fun. And you can follow, actually, I don't even know if the show has its own Instagram account. Isn't that terrible? I should look that up.
Yeah, just Instagram Blockbuster.
Yeah,
Blockbuster Netflix.
Blockbuster Netflix. Everybody knows how to find Netflix. And then I also have a website. It's just my name, stephanieizsak.com. You can reach out to me there as well.
Perfect. Stephanie, thank you so much for chatting with me. Anytime you want to come back on the podcast, just say the word. You have an open invitation. All right.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
I'm glad. But I'll let you go. Continue to, I don't know, help your cat hunt mice and write.
She's now asleep on the couch.
Okay.
She's asleep on the couch. The hunt has ended.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, now I guess I'll let you go and relax, or whatever you got to do for the rest of the day. But continue to stay safe and healthy. All right.
Thank you. You too, Chris.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.